All right, so basically, I'm gonna talk about some trauma shit right now, and I'm gonna tell you guys why it's so important to take the time to heal, because like I broke it all down. Like anyone who was abused as a child, this was all systematically done by the powers that be, and like it was done through blackmail, and basically there's people at the top calling the shots on certain bloodlines, certain people in the bloodlines, saying you need to suppress this one. This one's got special abilities, so that in order to suppress it, they tell the parents to abuse the child in one way or another, and like this abuse like kind of calcifies the special abilities for the child, because the child becomes traumatized and stressed out, and like basically the powers that be are just trying to prevent anyone with special powers from like unlocking them. All right, and I'm telling you right now, if you were abused as a child, it's because a good chance, not always, some people are sick as fuck, but like it wasn't no coincidence. Like they did this to you because you have special abilities that they wanted to suppress, and that they suppress it through all kinds of ways. They suppress it through medication. Like I remember my mom was able to fucking get me sectioned, all right, by conspiring with my therapist, and I never even signed any confidentiality form allowing them to speak. It was like, think about the word therapist. Break it into two words. The rapist. Like, the machine has completely taken over the medical industry through nurses. Just straight up mind controlled, satanic, turns out nurses, alright? Motherfucking serial killer nurses that fuck all the doctors, alright, and then get blackmail on them because they got a wife and family, and next thing you know, they got this big operation coming up on someone important, and the machine be like, yup, make a mistake. And guess what? It happens all the time. The amount of, like, my grandma, like, I've had family actually had serious, like, my uncle who had a heart attack just because, like, certain medical procedures are skipped. All right, it can reflect in the life or death of a person, and like I'm telling you, like, this is real. All right, and basically, like, they use medication and whatnot to like suppress it. When my mom put me in the hospital with my doctor, they wouldn't let me out. All right, I watched people come and go. Like, I was there for like 30 days, and everyone was be there at the most like 4 days. All right, and they just, I don't know. I trusted the doctors. Like I just trusted the process. Honestly, my life was so dangerous on the outside. I was kind of relieved to be in the hospital, you know, until Donald Trump won the election. Then I was like, fuck yeah, fucking, I gotta get out of here, because I felt as though I was safe at that point, which in a way I was, but I didn't realize the machine had Donald Trump by the balls too. But it is what it is. They have that. The machine has them by the balls with working with Jeffrey Epstein and the Israelis and the Rothschilds. But yeah, every presidential election is pretty much fucking rigged one way or another. Like the president is the puppet for someone with power and whatnot. But eventually everyone will find this out. But yeah, guys, I'm telling you, the trick to all this stuff is to heal. And healing, it hurts like a motherfucker. I'm gonna explain to you how to heal. Like, you really just gotta like kind of obsess over the trauma, and in a sense, you need to understand it. You gotta understand that hurt people, and basically, like, if you go through life with unhealed wounds, you're just gonna bleed all over everyone else or hurt other people, and like further cause more trauma. And so we need to just like take a step back as a whole in this world and heal, because basically it's getting bad, you know, it's like there's a virus going around where like everyone's just turning fucking evil. Like at least in my community, I can't believe it. Like 10 years ago, like it was never like this. You know, the balance of good and evil is like well balanced out, like in the sense 75% good, 25% evil. But right now we're at like 90% evil, fucking 10% good. At least here in the Northeast, that's what it's like. But yeah, I'm gonna try and teach you guys how to unlock your special powers if you can identify with this at all. If you ever felt like your family has acted against you or your friends, it might not have been a coincidence, just so you know. Like, people got hidden agendas behind everything, and I didn't find out until like if my family and friends didn't torture me in the worst ways, I probably never would have looked into why I was being dealt with so harshly. And like, because I was tortured, I had to look much deeper into things. And like, what I found was like, whoa, holy shit, like what the fuck is going on? And like, it's been a long journey, and like someone put a lot of thought into this. It must have been on drugs, all right, because like this shit is bizarre, all right, to the point where if like I heard myself telling this story, I would think I'm crazy or on drugs too. Like, but that's how it's designed. It's designed so that if I speak on it, it makes me look crazy. But basically, if you heal, the first step to healing, I healed in a jail cell. It's like a great place to heal, let me tell you, because like the only time I've ever been kind of suicidal in my life was when I was like really deep in reflection about the healing process, because you got to think about it at all angles. Like, it affects everyone's mind in different ways. Like, and basically, the first step is meditation. All right, and if you don't know how to meditate, you need to learn. And it's not something, don't get frustrated with it. It's not something you're ever going to be perfect at, but it's something you get better at every time you attempt to meditate. And basically, I'm going to turn some music on. Yeah, but basically, it's just breathing. All right, and you don't want to breathe in too heavy, too soft. All right, you want to breathe in just comfortably. You want to relax all your muscles. You don't have to sit cross-legged. Like, I lay down on a bed. I keep my hands in my lap, like basically fingertips just like that, almost touching like that. All right, and relax all the muscles in your body and just breathe. And you're gonna catch your mind wandering and whatnot. All right, when your mind wanders, just catch it. Bring it right back to your breathing, and just the key is to just think about breathing completely. All right, like there's all types of meditation, but like this is the most basic form of meditation, and in reality all forms of meditation basically require breathing. All right, and so you'd be surprised. You see, it sounds stupid, like, but just concentrating on breathing properly, if you breathe properly, you can control your mind. A lot of people, they get riled up and they start breathing too quickly. All right, that's how they get heart rate issues. All right, some people, you know, breathing is so important. And if you can learn how to breathe, like, so it gets to the point where if you meditate enough, your body starts to naturally breathe that way throughout the day, like, because it's just instinctual at that point. And once you do that, you unlock your full potential. And at that point, I chose to heal and think about my life and like understand why people do the things that they do. And like, I just had so many questions, and like, I'm gonna help everyone here, because like what I found was just crazy. Like the world that we know is really not what we know. It's all like very much controlled, and like it's pretty overwhelming to even come to the whatever it is, come to the agreement that But yeah, basically, once you heal